Just breathing the air of freedom after 18 months of military service, BTS's Jungkook instantly appeared in photos from the Hope on the Stage show that set the internet on fire. But what happened exactly? Is this a form of love for music or hidden pressure imposed by the agency? As his tired face was plastered in promotional posters, many asked, is Jungkook really ready? Or is he just a pawn in a big game that he can't even control? Is there really no respite for a man who has just completed his military duty for the sake of a country? Is the entertainment world too cruel, even for a global star like Jungkook? When news of Jungkook's discharge from the army was confirmed on June 11, 2025, it was supposed to be a day of celebration. An emotional moment that marks the return of Army's beloved Magne to normal life. Or at least that's what her fans imagine. But in less than 48 hours, images from the Hope on the Stage show went viral, showing Jungkook seemingly back in the spotlight, seemingly never absent from a glittering world that gave him absolutely no breathing room. The question is now reverberating across social media. Did Jungkook really choose to perform voluntarily? Or was there invisible pressure forcing him to immediately return to the stage in HYB's commercial interests? Did any of his inner voice get heard before he was put back in the system? One viral photo shows Jungkook silhouetted from the side, smiling faintly behind the dazzling stage lights. But netizens sharply looked into his eyes. No Jungkook shine, no spirit as usual. Even some ARMY who have been following BTS since 2013 feel that there is something awkward. One of the fans revealed via a Twitter thread, now X, "I'm happy to see Jungkook again, but why does it feel like that, not like him?" As if he stood there because he had to, not because he wanted to. Are the fans overreacting? Or are they the only ones who dare to say something that is being covered up? In what was initially projected to be an emotional comeback for J-Hope, attention suddenly turned to Jungkook's unexpected return from the military after 48 hours. The question arises, when was this event planned? Is it possible that HYB's side has set a schedule before Jungkook comes out? Is it a choice? Or is it just a command? What makes the atmosphere even more fiery is the digital poster featuring Jungkook's face in the main composition. In fact, under ideal conditions, an idol who has just finished military duty should be given time to rest, recover physically and mentally, before returning to the world of celebrities that is so exhausting. But for Jungkook, there's no time to adjust, no time to be with family. Instead of going home, he went straight to the studio, stage, camera, and here's the part that makes the public wonder more deeply. Is HYB utilizing Jungkook's timing discharge as part of Hope on the Stage's promotional strategy? Is this about the emotion of BTS reuniting on stage? Or is it actually just part of a script that was written long before for the sake of igniting Dan's euphoria? Of course, profit. Longtime BTS fans understand that the members have a very strong bond with each other. But they also know that business is business. So it's no wonder, when he saw Jungkook and J-Hope's interaction on stage that felt awkward, a number of fans began to dig deeper. Is there internal tension? Was Jungkook asked to perform only for the sake of the company? Some ARMY even began comparing Jungkook's past behavior when he eagerly welcomed the comeback stage with his current self. His smile felt less alive. His body seemed to be under control. And if you look closely at the slow-motion footage from Hope on the Stage, Jungkook glanced backstage, looking for confirmation or maybe help. More critical netizens began to refer to South Korea's long history of notoriously strict entertainment agencies, even against the biggest stars. They know that the world is not always as beautiful as it seems. Contracts can stifle creativity. Pressure can be disguised as professionalism. And in the end, emotions can be a commodity that is sold at a high price. It has also been speculated that Jungkook may have given a rejection earlier, but was defeated by a scenario that was too ripe for change. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, one of HYB's former staffers, who declined to be named, said in an anonymous interview. But if you know how much is already being spent on a big event like Hope on Stage, you will know that there is no room for sudden change. Where is Jungkook in all this? Does he not have the power to say no? Or does he feel guilty if he refuses, considering that all the members are back and fans are waiting with great expectation? That's the trap of being a global idol. When all eyes are on you, Sometimes there's no turning back. But the price of all that, often paid not with money, but with freedom, tranquility, and sometimes happiness. What's more worrying is how this could impact Jungkook's mental health. She once openly talked about the pressure she felt as an idol growing up under the spotlight as a teenager. He once said that sometimes all he needs is time to breathe, to live without expectations. But with the advent of his return to the stage just 2 days after his discharge from the military, many doubted whether he really got that chance. Is this just the beginning of an old cycle that comes back to repeat itself? The cycle in which Jungkook again becomes the golden magne is not because he wants to, but as the world demands it to be it. Amid the ARMY's anger that flooded social media with hashtags #let Jungkook rest and #respectJK, HYBE chose to remain silent. There is no official clarification. There was no statement that Jungkook's appearance on Hope on the Stage was a personal decision. There is also no recognition that it was part of a previous contract, and as always, it is this vagueness that raises more questions than answers. In fact, a number of ARMY are now starting to question whether this long-awaited BTS reunion is truly sincere. Are you all emotionally ready? Is it their love of music and fans, or a heavy responsibility they can't escape? Have we as fans been part of that pressure? Demanding stage, when they haven't even had time to recover their breath. These questions echo without a definite answer. But one thing is clear, Jungkook's face on stage this time is no longer the same as it used to be. Perhaps this is just a momentary feeling. But maybe this is the beginning of something bigger, deeper, and more painful than we can imagine. Do you really see the happiness in Jungkook's eyes? Or is it just a reflection of what we all want to see? But that night in Seoul, as stage lights reflected light onto Jungkook's newly regrown black hair after a military cut, there was something that took fans' breath away. Not by surprise, not out of admiration, but because of worries that cannot be explained in words. That's not the Jungkook they know. Not a figure that usually exudes confidence from every step. He stood there, his body straightened, but his expression was full of questions. He wasn't sure why he was there that night. Several ARMYs meticulously recorded every second of Jungkook's appearance from behind the stage, and one moment went viral, when J-Hope approached him with a big smile, trying to embrace him like he used to. But Jungkook's response? Awkward. His hand was restrained for a moment, before finally accepting the hug, and the camera captured the moment when the look in his eyes was not on Hyung, but towards the back of the stage, like someone hoping there was a way to escape. Are hugs sincere? Or part of the script, already choreographed to please the masses? What made the atmosphere even more fiery was the reappearance of the song, Never Let Go, which played in the background near the closing of the stage. The song was indeed released as part of BTS's 11-year celebration in 2024, but why play it again now, when Jungkook just returned home? The lyrics, even if I fall down / I'll never let go of your hand, feel like an inaudible scream, an entrapping hope. Is that Jungkook's message to the fans or to himself? As videos from the night were re-uploaded by thousands of accounts, comments sprung up like outbursts of emotion that had been on hold. Why does he look so empty? HYBE, give him some time. He's not a robot. I don't know why, but it hurt me to see him that night. One of the most lively threads in the global ARMY community reviews Jungkook's expression second by second. A micro-expression analyst was even asked to give his professional views. The results were surprising. He mentioned that Jungkook's smile was out of sync with his eyes, and that there was a pattern of tension in his jaw that indicated emotional distress. This is not an accusation. This is not slander. It's an observation and a recognition that something big is being hidden from the public. The question is pressing. Was Jungkook ever given a choice? Is Hope on Stage a personal request or a management decision wrapped in a beautiful narrative of togetherness and reunion? As the outside world parties to celebrate BTS return, a question quietly settles among true fans. Are we all witnessing BTS's return or their disappearance one by one? Because if it's true Jungkook wasn't ready, then why was he there? An unnamed source said HYBE has been devising a post-military agenda for each member since long ago. And for Jungkook, who is known to be the most profitable in terms of brand and marketing, everything has to go without a break. He is a face that brings numbers, sales, impressions, and the world will not wait. The source revealed, but the world won't wait. Does that mean Jungkook isn't given time to breathe too? Furthermore, the issue is SD. What makes the atmosphere even more strange is the absence of Suga. Not only has Hope not been seen on stage, but there hasn't been a single trace of her online since early June. In fact, Suga is known as a very vocal figure when there is internal pressure and often dare to speak with his music, even against the system that raised him. In fact, fans noticed that his social media accounts were last active more than 3 weeks ago. No updates, no likes, no stories. Whereas Yoongi, a viral thread asks, did Suga choose to disappear because he knows something we don't yet know? Meanwhile, Jin, who only completed his military service a few days before Hope on the stage, appeared on a short live broadcast the day after the event. He didn't mention Jungkook, didn't mention the concert, didn't mention the reunion. But there is one sentence that thrilled millions of viewers. Sometimes love is silent. But that doesn't mean blind. The sentence became a matter of speculation. Some consider it a form of Genie's silent code for what happened. That he, the eldest Sang Hyung, witnessed it all, but couldn't speak out loud yet. Because as always, the genie is the counterweight, the one who bears in silence, but occasionally leaves sharp messages, hint of a silent split, a sign that is realized too late. One thing that many fans now regret is, perhaps the signs have been around for a long time. A Twitter user re-uploaded an old video from 2022 when BTS announced a temporary hiatus. In the video, Jungkook sits most calmly, but his eyes are empty. V and Jimin seem to be trying to smile. RM spoke at length, explaining that they needed time to be themselves. Now, the video becomes like a puzzle piece that is too late to understand. They've been cracking up ever since. But we're too busy wishing them well, to the point of forgetting to see what they're really showing us. And now, when all are back, or rather, forced back, the question is no longer when they release new songs, but is there still a desire in their hearts to be together, or are they just working on their last contract? HYB turned a deaf ear. As news of Hope on the stage and alleged pressure on Jungkook peaked, HYB did not give an official statement. In fact, they're still rolling out massive promotions for BTS 2025 album merchandise and repackages with slogans, "Together always." But those words now feel hollow, because if together means being together on stage with a broken heart, then it's no longer about being together. It was about maintaining the shadow of what was long gone. Army in a dilemma, support or rescue. For a true army, Hope on stage leaves behind emotional trauma. Not because the concert was bad, but because it was too beautiful to be real. Too neat to be in doubt. Too silent in the cheers. Too silent in the roar of forced love. And now comes the most painful option. Should we continue to support them, or free them from the oppressive world? That night behind the stage, an unnamed technical staff member revealed that after the concert, Jungkook went straight into the waiting room without saying much. He didn't speak to anyone for almost 30 minutes. Even when J-Hope and some of the production team tried to shake his hand, he just nodded, then sat down, staring at the floor, and after everything was over, only one person entered the room and locked the door from the inside. The genie, and no one knows what the two men were talking about that night. But since then, Jungkook hasn't shown up again, not a single post. No message to the fans, quiet. Total, and perhaps it is the most truthful sign of all that is happening. That night, the glitter of Hope on the stage was supposed to be a milestone of revival. But behind all the light, there was a conversation that was interrupted, a silence that left a mark, and gestures that no longer united. Especially from the three names that have been touted as BTS's emotional backbone, Jungkook, Taeil, and Jimin. An anonymous source close to one of BTS's personal managers revealed a behind-the-scenes incident that was never intended to be leaked to the public, that Jungkook, Jimin, and Taeil weren't in the same room before the concert, and not for technical reasons, according to him. The night before the Hope on the Stage concert, there is a meeting planned to discuss the dynamics of the stage, expressions, and personal moments that will be displayed as reunions. But Jungkook didn't come, he refused. Not with anger, but with a cold phrase, "I don't want to pretend that night," the source said. The sentence shattered many expectations, and more surprisingly, it wasn't Jimin or Taeil who were chasing. No one is forcing. There is no additional dialogue. Just shut up. Very loud silence, is Jungkook taking distance. A longtime fan revealed that in his old letters, Jungkook once wrote, "If one day I become a burden to those I love, I'd better disappear temporarily." The letter feels alive again because after the concert, there was no moment of togetherness. No backstage selfies. No congratulatory posts. Even BTS's official account, which usually floods timelines with exclusive photos, only uploaded one carousel of the group with a flat caption, and when netizens dissected the photo, one disturbing thing was clearly visible. Taeil stood far away from Jungkook. Jimin did not embrace anyone. For a group known for its physical closeness and warm embrace, it felt like an invisible fence. What happened between V and Jungkook? Speculation about Jungkook and Taeil's relationship began to grow when one of the fan sites known to have exclusive access leaked a short audio from backstage. Although the audio is not very clear, the frustrated tone is believed to come from Taeil's voice. "If you don't want to be here, why show up at all?" That raises two interpretations. Is Taeil feeling abandoned? Or is it feeling betrayed by Jungkook's unwillingness to be fully present, in soul and heart? Because if examined, V himself had delivered ambiguous sentences when interviewed after the draft. Relationships can change. But as long as we are silent, others can write our stories as they please. Now fans are asking, has the relationship between V and Jungkook changed? Are all the Taekook moments just sweet memories that can't be saved? Jimin, the painful silence. Meanwhile, Jimin is the most painful enigma in the story. He is known to be the most emotional, the most sensitive to Jungkook, and even often acts as a silent liaison between the members during times of tension. But in this event, he just disappeared. One of the staff mentioned that Jimin had visited the rehearsal room the afternoon before Hope on the stage. But he just sat for a while, then left. No training together. There was no laughter they shared. Surprisingly, when fans dug back into Jimin's story 1 week before the concert, there was one sentence that is now considered a silent warning. Sometimes we love too hard to forget that forced love hurts. And after the concert, Jimin's social media accounts were completely silent. Does Jungkook intend to step down? This was the question that began to make the army shudder. Some fans claimed that during Hope on the stage, they heard Jungkook's voice tremble slightly while singing the chorus of Still With You. Someone even voiced in the community, it was not a vocal vibration. It was the voice of someone holding back tears. Plus, since the concert, all Jungkook's activities from promoting the song, Never Let Go, to advertising, have been postponed or quietly cancelled. Even BTS's official YouTube hasn't uploaded a behind-the-scenes video, as usual. No content, banking bomb. There's no vlog. As if everything was frozen, fans began to associate this with the possibility of a major decision being considered by Jungkook. Back off. Rest. Let go of everything. Last signal. A fan with a keen eye